Hello guys and welcome to Poser's Full Movie Recaps. Our film today is about a housewife whose family has been slaughtered by her past enemies, so in order to get revenge, she has to go back to her roots to exact her vengeance upon the ones who destroyed everything she loved. The film begins with an assassin infiltrating a mansion, slashing its way through countless security goons until it reaches its target. Inside, a woman and her daughter huddle terrified as the assassin points its weapon at them and fires. 7 years later, a woman named Maria wakes beside her husband and gives him a kiss, before going to check on her daughter Min Min. Not long after, Bert shows up in the kitchen to tell Maria that he's going to skip breakfast, as he's in a hurry to go to a meeting with Governor Villanueva. Maria insists that he should stay to eat, as all politicians are the same and also having their breakfast at the moment. Somewhere else, a man named Ricardo de la Vega, the head of the local cartel, watches a press conference of Governor Villanueva. A reporter asks the politician about his anti-drug campaign and his partner Ricardo, but the politician denies any association with the mob boss and promises that once he gets elected, they'll get the justice that the country needs. Ricardo yells at the TV and says that he's the one who put him in position. He then goes to the garage to meet his underlings, and without a warning, he beat the traitor with a baseball bat. Afterward, he tells his son Caleb and right-hand man Victor that Governor Villanueva has been making too much noise and he needs to be taken care of. Caleb immediately jumps to the opportunity and offers to bring his men right away to finish the politician, but Victor mocks Caleb that he had failed before, so he cannot just go there with guns blazing. Before the argument escalates, Ricardo intervenes and orders his son to take care of it quietly, which upsets Victor. Victor complains about why Ricardo allows Caleb to mess things up, and the boss answers that he's the one calling the shots and not him. Back in Maria's home, while the couple is watching the governor on TV, Bert tells her that he thinks that the governor can really make some changes because he's a good guy. Maria sarcastically responds that of course he is, and when Bert gets upset, she tells him that she's just kidding. The next day, the family attends the rally for the governor's campaign, unaware that Ricardo's men are around to assert the situation of the security being tight. Maria goes to get Min Min from talking to a police officer, not knowing that another man discreetly takes a picture of her. The man sends the photo to Caleb, who immediately recognizes Maria and heads over to the rally to find her. When Caleb reaches the rally, he's furious when he learns that Maria has already left. Later, Maria turns the TV off when he sees Bart watching another of the governor's interviews. This upsets Bert and they get into an argument about him paying more attention to the governor, causing him to neglect his family. Somewhere at the docks, Victor and his men are trying to get information from their captive. He calls Caleb and offers to send his men over, but the man is still furious and dismisses his help. When Ricardo shows up and asks if his captive has given a name, Victor shoots him before saying no. Meanwhile, as Caleb spars with his trainer, he has a flashback of his girlfriend Lily where she tells him that she's tired of all the killings. He tells her that they have one more mission and that afterward, he would talk to Ricardo about settling down. Still upset, Caleb orders Victor's men including a Black Rose assassin named Miru to tail the governor, while he takes care of something else more important. He then orders the rest of his underlings to bring him Maria's family as soon as possible, so they kidnap one of Bert's friends Leo and beats him until he tells them where Maria lives. Caleb's men spot Maria in the marketplace, but the woman notices the goons that have been tailing her and run. The men chase her and a fight ensued, but Maria easily overpowers them and hurries back to her family. Once she reaches home, she quickly tells them to pack their bags, but while at it, the doorbell rings and Bert finds the wounded Leo as he opens the door. Caleb immediately shoots Leo upon seeing Maria's husband, and Bert asks who they are as they barge into the house. Caleb mockingly calls Maria using the name Lily, which confuses Bert more as he only knows his wife by her name Maria. As Caleb holds Bert hostage, Maria put her weapon down and tells Caleb to let her family go. When Min Min runs to her dad, Caleb shoots her and lets Bert go. Bert rushes to his daughter and starts crying, and Caleb tells the shocked Maria that now she knows how it feels. In a flashback, Lily was the assassin who infiltrates the mansion in the beginning, and she refused to shoot the woman and her daughter that they found inside the mansion. When another man tries to do it, Lily finishes off the goon and shoots Caleb in the knee, then takes the woman and child with her as she flees the property. Back in the present, Maria tries to fight to get away from the men holding her, while Bert pushes Caleb and desperately fights him as well. In the middle of the commotion, Bert gets shot while blocking Maria from their bullets, but Caleb gets away while Maria is busy fighting off all his men. After the enemy is gone, Maria devastatingly wails as she holds her daughter in her arms. Afterward, she takes her knife from her hiding place, kisses her husband's forehead, and gets on a train. At the same moment, Caleb calls Ricardo and informs him about Lily being alive, then calls Miru and orders her team to fall back. Later, Maria goes to her mentor and old Mafia syndicate member Sir Greg. She asks him for a place to stay, and the man tells her to go to a motel as he doesn't want to get involved in any conflict anymore. As Greg patches Maria's injury, he tells her that she's supposed to be dead, and that Maria should just find somewhere else to hide. Turns out that after the mansion incident, Lily fakes her death to start a new life and build a family. When Maria tells Greg about her family's demise, the man finally relents and decides to help her get revenge. As the police investigate what they call a massacre at Maria's home, Ricardo orders one of the cops in his pocket to perform some cover-up, so it cannot be traced back to him. Back at their lair, Ricardo is upset that Lily is still alive, but Victor assures him that she won't be a problem for long, because he plans to handle her himself. Meanwhile, Caleb shows Miru a picture of Maria and orders her to finish her off. He adds that she's possibly hiding at Greg's place, but cautions her not to touch the man because his family has some kind of agreement with him. Miru asks Caleb who Maria is, and the man explains that she was an old associate from Black Rose like her. When Miru barges into Greg's place, the man reminds her of his agreement with Caleb's family, so Miru surrenders her weapon to Greg. When Greg orders his henchman Boggett to test Miru, the woman beats the goon to a pulp and goes on her way. Somewhere else, Maria infiltrates one of Ricardo's packing factories. After taking out a bunch of guards and the chemist, Maria sets the building on fire and leaves. Later, Greg informs Maria of the trouble she has brought in with her, and tells her about Boggett's fate. When he calls her Lily, she corrects him and adds that Lily is dead and now, all that is left is Maria. Greg expresses his regret for transforming her into an assassin, as she was like a daughter he never had. He adds that he hated it when Ricardo puts a bounty on her head, and he had to finish her off himself. In a flashback, it is revealed that Greg has given her a pill for an easy death, and afterward, he took her body to Caleb to show him that he did what they had ordered him to do. He then tells her that she was the reason he retired and adds that as long as she's breathing, there is a chance to find happiness again. Meanwhile, Victor reports to Ricardo that their factory is in ashes, and tells Caleb that he can't allow him to jeopardize their operations anymore. Caleb threatens to finish him off, but when Victor challenges him to do so, the man cannot pull the trigger and just screams profanity at him. At Greg's bar, Maria watches the news of the burning factory and Greg comments that she's now famous. He tells her to follow and takes her to where he stashed all his high-powered weapons. He urges her to take anything she wants because no one is going to dare to come after him, as he's the one who trained all Ricardo's assassins. She inspects some of the weapons and picks a knife, and tells the man that she needs a dress as well. In a nightclub, Maria walks inside wearing a new dress and looks straight into Miru. She goes to the restroom where Miru shortly follows, while two of Caleb's men have blocked the entrance. Miru mocks Maria for not being pretty as her, while Maria retorts that Caleb's standards have diminished. The two women start fighting and almost show equal skills, but in the end, Maria is able to finish her opponent by bashing her into the corner of the vanity. When the men outside think that it's been taking too long, they rush inside the restroom but Maria quickly disarms and shoots them. When she walks out of the room, she encounters more goons and quickly neutralizes them. She then proceeds to walk upstairs and sit with the club manager. She asks the man where Caleb is, which the manager didn't answer but instead hands her a phone where she can contact Caleb. When the manager adds a remark about her family, she put her knife to his neck and forces him to swallow a handful of pills, and throws all the money from the duffel bag over to the people in the club. Somewhere, Ricardo orders Victor to take out Governor Villanueva. When the henchman asks about Lily, Ricardo answers to let Caleb take care of her. Victor starts to protest, but Ricardo slams his hand down on the desk and tells him he will never be head of his family, so he should obey his orders and work on the governor. Back at the bar, Greg tells Maria that it's not too late to back down, as he has money to give her in case she wants to start a new life somewhere. Before Maria can answer, Caleb calls and tells her to meet him at the docks, who also calls Victor and asks him to go to the docks as well. Victor then orders Wednesday to get everyone ready, as there should be no survivors, not even Caleb. Later, the cartel's group prepares to ambush Maria, but the woman is prepared and silently takes out the guards one by one. When she is forced to use her gun to shoot one of the guards, Caleb hears the gunshot and tells Wednesday to stand down as he wants Maria captured alive. As Maria continues to take the men down, Wednesday challenges him and he finally orders her to get into position. Wednesday leaves but orders her men to fire on the office while Caleb is still inside, finishing off several of his bodyguards. Meanwhile, Greg is hidden somewhere with a sniper rifle and starts taking down Victor's men as they pull up. Victor immediately figures out that it's Greg and calls him. He tells the man that he violated their deal, but Greg insists that because he didn't touch Victor, the agreement is still intact and he's just trying to even the odds. Maria continues to advance to the office where Caleb is, but his two remaining guards cover him so he can escape. However, Maria catches up to Caleb, and the two start fighting while the man taunts her about her family's demise. When Maria gets the upper hand, Caleb tells her that she can't escape death as she is dead, and the vengeful woman agrees before slashing his throat. Sometime later, Victor and Ricardo are standing over Caleb's body, and Ricardo tells the man to avenge his brother while Victor silently stares at the corpse, indicating a sequel. At the same moment, Greg hands Maria a bag full of cash and shares one last drink with his protege. Subscribe to watch more videos like this. You can also hit the notification bell and like the video to help the channel out. Thank you.